Yo, welcome to episode 82 of the Fly Route Podcast.
Fly pod.
Yo, I am your host, Anthony, aka Gay Ball Tony, aka Alex Lendherwood, and I am here with the guys. Y'all got any AKAs for yourself?
No AKA today.
Y'all really just gonna let me sit there with Alex Lendherwood by myself?
Nah, for me, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know Twig Street Baby, aka the Mac is back, return to the Mac. You know what I'm saying?
Sam, a.k.a. Aaron Judge, 51 home runs. First MLB player to 50 this year. Not a baseball podcast, but I'm going baseball again for the a.k.a.
Damn, Sam should get said AKA no hat. I don't think I ever seen Sam without a hat.
I finally got a
fresh cut. That AKA fresh cut.
I finally
had to
got
go
a
no
haircut.
It's Cliff, aka Cowboys ain't do nothing in the off season, aka 40-year-old Jason Peters. Hurt, man, hurt.
Oh, yo, this week we are getting into the AFC and NFC South. We're gonna break in all the news that's coming through with the roster cuts, and we're gonna give a big ballers bouquet to Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Fly Route Pod.
All right. Let's start with the news like we usually do. Keith, what's popping?
All right, so like Cliff said, the Cowboys are gonna host Jason Peters left tackle. Ravens signed Kenyon Drake. Kind of crazy because he's coming off of an injury with our injury riddled backfield. Shaquille Leonard returns back to practice after he missed training camp because of it. Chargers signed Sony Michel. Eagles who skipped Justin Jefferson to get Jalen Reagor, sent Jalen Reagor to the Vikings with Justin Jefferson now. What else is there? Josh Gordon got cut by the Chiefs. He had a visit with Tennessee, I think, today.
Yep.
Yes.
That was another big thing. Bills released O.J. Howard, who I would have assumed would have fit really well in that system. They released him since he took the chance, and I think they're hosting him with a visit, potentially signing him. There's one big thing I'm missing off the top.
Trey Sermon got released. That's kind of surprising for me, honestly.
Yeah, I heard he was having a pretty good camp. So that's surprising.
They were saying
Alex
he was arguably the best player during camp, and then you released him.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
That
You
makes
just, you just drafted him a couple years ago.
Last year.
Last year. Yeah, just drafted him last year. And then whatchamacallit? Who else just got cut? Somebody just got cut. Kellen Mond got cut from Minnesota.
Yo,
Picked up by the Browns. I'm pretty sure I don't know what was going on in Minnesota, if he couldn't beat Kirk Cousins out or what, but I'd probably say he might be able to beat out Jacoby Brissett.
he couldn't beat out Nick Mullins. He was not competing with he was not competing with Kirk Cousins. He was competing with Nick Mullins, and he got cut.
Yeah, whatever. And then we had Tony Jefferson. He got released by the Ravens. Ended up signing with the Giants. Followed Wink Martindale in that system. And then the other big thing that's just been headlining the news last couple of days is Lamar's contract. Reportedly, someone made a thread on Twitter and was like, he got offered $250 million, and Lamar responded, "No, I didn't." So nice to know the Ravens haven't offered that, which is fucking ridiculous. So I guess we're gonna play. We're gonna play the we're gonna tag you every year game, I guess. And I hope, because he's such a nice guy, I hope he just 1 year is just like, you know what, screw you, I'm not playing unless I get a legit deal. And then he liked a tweet of him in a Miami jersey. So that's all the news.
Hey, look, Alex Leatherwood also got cut, and then the Bears claimed him off waivers. So we will be paying the last $6 million guaranteed of his rookie deal.
You pick up his fifth year too, don't you?
We can if we want to. It's always an option, right? He's in his season.
Let that man clear.
Well, no, it's like we got the option to pick up his fifth year if we want.
He would have been able to choose.
He has to be on our team for 3 years. He has to make 3 more seasons of play to get there. And if he makes it 3 more years on the Bears, then it was worth it.
That's true.
Right. So that one I'm not mad about it. Cliff, 41-year-old, because he'll be 41
Yeah.
when he plays this season.
I give him the benefit of the doubt, you know.
Hey, it was either him or Whitworth, bro.
That 40 sound better. They both dirt. Oh.
Hey, no, Whitworth was playing last season. Jason Peters was the left tackle for the Bears, and our offensive line was subpar, to say it nicely. Oh man, that's gonna be difficult. All right. Anybody else got any major news points they want to talk about before we get into the RPO?
I ain't gonna lie. One other thing that kind of was surprising was Marlon Mack getting released, but signing back to the practice squad. I was like, I mean, Damian Pierce, coming on strong, but it was still surprising to see Marlon Mack get cut. So
I'm surprised he went. I'm more surprised he then just automatically re-signed to the practice squad the next day instead of like feeling it out to see if he had any other options.
Exactly.
So maybe they have a little handshake deal that like he's really just being roster manipulation right now, and like he'll get brought back up afterwards. Because like there's always a couple guys like that, like that'll get cut, but like eventually brought back up and they know it. But that one was interesting because Marlon Mack, like, was it 3 years ago? Marlon Mack was the dude. Like he was the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too long ago he was.
Before that man showed up in town, he was
the man of these streets. All right, facts. Let's get it going to the RPO.
The Fly Route Pod.
Okay. This is the RPO where we talk about some of the hottest storylines in the NFL this week, and we'll let you know whether or not we're going to run with them or pass on them. This first one is for Keith. Does Jimmy G's contract restructure say anything about the 49ers' faith in Trey Lance? Run or pass?
I'm going to run with it. I think it says more about having a competent backup that already knows your system. Because Trey is more mobile, I don't think it's a knack on Trey. I really think it's like, hey, like if we let Jimmy go, which they were, trying to trade him or figure out they were going to release him, who is going to back up Trey that either one has that skill set or we know is a proven backup? The list is not long at all. Like, unless you're going to pry Tyler Huntley from us, maybe getting Tyrod Taylor from the Giants, ain't a long list of dudes that either can manipulate what Trey does or is competent enough at being a backup. So I don't see no problem with it. I think people are making a bigger deal out of it. I don't think it shows anything about confidence in Trey. I think it's more of just confidence in the backup, worst case scenario, if that happens. It's not like Jimmy G has proven he can win you games. And you like that in the backup. If your backup got to cover, 3 games, 2 games, you don't want to go 0-3. Like the Ravens with 0-6 with Tyler Huntley. You don't want to do no shit like that.
Dave, why Tyler catch that straight?
Bro, because I listened all damn season last year. People were like, just trade Lamar and pay Tyler. Bitch, what?
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
People were seriously saying that. You can avoid, having to pay Lamar, trade him, get some assets, and pay Tyler. Bitch, what? Man.
All right, look. We got T.O. next. Tom Brady won number 1 in the NFL's top 100. Was that ridiculous fanboy service by the league? Run or pass?
I'm a pass on it. And the reason I'm a pass, I got some interesting facts for y'all. So just in case y'all didn't know this, obviously Brady is old as hell. He's 44. So the fact that he even still competing at a high level right now in the NFL, he's still one of the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL. It's ridiculous. So he led the league in pass yards and touchdowns, which is crazy because they're also Tampa Bay Buck records. So not only did he lead the league in passing yards and touchdowns, but they're also the records for the Bucks. So he's only second to Jameis for the most passing touchdowns in Bucks history. So he got 83 and Jameis got 121. So this year he had 43. If he has another 40 burger, he might be the all-time leading pass touchdown record in Bucks history, which is insane. Also, he already has the Bucks single season passer rating at 102.2. And this is the 5th time a quarterback has had 5K passing yards and 40-plus passing touchdowns and finish with over 100 passer rating. So I got to pass on it.
I gotta challenge that, bro. Not like him passing on it, but people pulled up the Herbert stats last year. I didn't know how identical it was. It's the same shit as Brady. I think it's an interception off. Like I think
No, Herbert threw for 100 less yards and 4 less touchdowns, the same amount of interceptions, but was ranked 40th.
Yeah, and I think what people are trying to figure out, I get why the NFL 100, the numbers are all over the place. The players are just ranking them. So it's not like the NFL is like, hey, we got to take this many quarterbacks. We're taking this many. If they broke that up to like, hey, we can only take this many guys, this many guys. They're literally saying like on a panel, like if it was us, vote whoever you want. And you're literally voting whoever you want. I think the only thing I think is dope Brady got, number one, I don't really see a problem with it. He's showing out in Tampa. Only issue I have with it is Terrence was naming off all the records for the Bucs. I can't even name the Bucs, any of the Bucs quarterbacks other than James and Brad Johnson.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy. He only been there for overnight.
Okay, does that say more about Tom or more about how ass the Bucs are?
It's more about that because we know how great Tom is. So that's why I was like, "Yo, it says more about the Bucs franchise."
It's also him doing it at the age of 44. Like
exactly, that was my first point.
Justin Herbert, what year 2-3? I mean, that man's 44, playing just like that kid. Like that's what we say.
And he don't run. He don't scramble.
No, he can't. He can't.
He gonna have to this year.
Hey, I hope we get after him week 1. After him week 1. You got to, right? Ain't no hope. If you don't get out there, ain't no hope.
All right. This next one is for Cliff. Kellen Mond was cut from the Vikings, right? Last year, Kirk Cousins had COVID, and Zimmer started Sean Mannion over Kellen Mond, and a lot of people saw that as the final nail in his coffin to get fired. After a new offensive head coach in Kevin O'Connell cuts Kellen Mond from the team, do we owe Mike Zimmer an apology? Run or pass?
I'm going to say pass because I actually like Kellen Mond. I think he's going to be a serviceable backup of it with the Browns or he could compete. Now he's in a situation where he can compete with an older quarterback where they ain't going to have their guy for 11 weeks. So I think that's going to put him in an interesting position where he can compete. Obviously, he's going to take him some time to learn the playbook and everything. But I think he's just young. I think he's got upside unless I saw him in their first preseason game. He played really well. Like I'm not really sure what you now. If he was like 28, I'd be like, all right, he needs to be a little better. But he's like 24 years old. Like, and so that's just how I feel. I think he's going to be eventually a serviceable backup, and he may even compete out there in Cleveland for the time being.
All right, vibes. This last one is for Sam, and this is one of the trades that happened this week. The Saints made a huge mistake trading C.J. Gardner-Johnson for a 7th rounder and a 7th rounder for a 5th and 6th round pick. Run or pass?
Run. I feel like as Saints fans, everyone kind of saw that trades or cuts were coming because they just can't afford to pay everybody. But to lose someone who had bought in that much to the team culture and someone who's that talented, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario where they don't look back on that with at least some bit of regret. The Eagles got a great player, got a great locker room guy that's definitely going to buy in on their team as well. So I feel like they should feel really good about it. I was talking to one of my good friends about this trade, Suresh, who's like the biggest Saints fan I know. And his feelings on it is, he hates that it had to be CD, but he just sees basically the philosophy of the Saints is like they're not going to overpay for a nickel corner when they feel like they have the personnel to fill in. And apparently there was some butting heads just like at practice in training camp between CJ and the new coaching staff. So I think that made him a little bit more likely to be one of the guys that's moved. My only I guess silver lining is I'm hoping they're clearing up money to eventually get Odell, especially if Mike Thomas isn't able to
At the
come
end,
back.
Cap Hill, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I know they've been having to finesse the cap for years, so it's going to take more than just this trade to do that. But Jarvis and Odell have been boys since LSU. Odell's from Louisiana. That's like the one silver lining I'm kind of holding on to. And I think if he hadn't gone to the Rams and Jameis hadn't been hurt, I definitely could have seen him going to the Saints last year too.
Okay, did you raise your hand at some point, Keith?
Yeah.
I peeped that.
Because there ain't no motherfucking way I'm betting on Marcus May and not keeping CJ. There's no, they out they fucking mind,
They got
bro.
Honey Badger too, though.
Yeah, but no, the thing is, like, Marcus May is banged up a lot, and when he's healthy, he's pretty solid, but he's banged up a lot. You could have never not signed him at all, kept CJ, and had Honey Badger. I guess the big knock on CJ is that he's not like a deep field safety, because what they would do is they put Marcus Williams in the center field and let CJ play nickel and dime in the slot or whatever. That's perfect. You still could have did that with Honey Badger. Honey Badger
I still think CD's like a fine safety too. Like I think if Philly wants to put him there, he'll be good.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
just
he
don't
told me,
want him to be
Yeah.
back there all the time. So
Yeah.
like,
They still have PJ Williams as well.
yeah, but they had PJ, Marcus May, but the thing is, like, they were deep at safety, but they weren't like their quality at safety was really good, right? But their cornerback position, it's like quantity but no quality. Like you got Marshawn, and
It's
then
top heavy.
yeah, you got Marshawn and then a rookie from last year who you still got to figure out to see how he does this year. But so with that, I mean, there's no way I'm trading him. Like I know it's time to pay him,
Yeah.
but you can't like how good that defense is. Like at this point, fucking cut Taysom Hill and go find a tight end, just a normal tight end. Like, you could have kept Ian Book.
Why
They
just
They
these
just
trades?
paid
What
paid
did Taysom
Taysom.
do to you?
Y'all gotta look. The Eagles have been stealing and robbing from the Saints since around draft time. Y'all look at the trades they made with the Saints. You're looking at the Saints like, what are y'all doing? Then they come back and trade
CJ.
Gardner Johnson for nothing.
The crazy shit is
When you could have just let him play.
Okay, now Cliff, you a Cowboys fan. Let's be real. Jalen Reagor just went for more picks
Stealing.
than Amari
They're
Cooper.
stealing. They are stealing. The
hey,
Eagles
but-
are. They traded with the Saints several times, stole from every time. They traded Arthego Whiteside to the Seahawks. He got cut.
And they cut him.
He didn't even make the team. They just traded Jalen Reagor, who they talking up. Oh, we really love him. They don't love him. They talking him up so y'all can be like, hey, we want that guy. So y'all go and trade for the guy that they took right before Justin Jefferson, and those two guys are totally different guys.
Bro, one thing
It
that
just
says
don't make sense, man.
one, Minnesota gonna open up the field passing completely now. They're gonna be throwing the ball everywhere, but with
Kurt
the
gonna
Saints,
hold them back. That's who's gonna hold them back.
I
Throw
don't
the damn ball, Kurt. Throw the damn ball.
You also got a guy in the backfield. You don't have to throw that on him.
Yes, but the other thing is though, just with CJ, it's like they traded him and he was the younger talent on their team. Everybody on their defense besides Marcus Davenport,
Yep.
and I think their defensive tackle is relatively old as shit. So you mean to tell me if you don't win a Super Bowl in these next, what do you give him, Terrence? 2 years? Like you gotta win now.
Yeah.
Like there's no way I'm trading him, because if you kept him, maybe you guys have a better chance of making the run. Getting rid of him, you don't have a future asset, and then you're betting on Marcus May and PJ Williams. I don't think PJ Williams is a bum, but I'm taking Gardner Johnson over definitely. Marcus
We
May.
gonna see.
Eagles secondary stacked on paper. I ain't gonna hold you.
Boy, that
On
shit.
paper,
the
their
Eagles
entire
squad
team is
is
stacked
stacked.
on paper.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeez,
Okay.
man.
They look
Jeez.
scary as fuck on paper.
Yeah, that's facts. Okay, let's keep it popping. Move right into the AFC South. We are going to start with Sam, who has. Well, actually, first let's start with the division winners. Does anybody feel like the Colts are not going to win this division?
I got the Titans winning the division.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think you could take the Titans, to be honest. This is a toss-up. They play really similar.
Yeah.
I mean, and then with a healthy Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill ain't throwing 3 picks. Like, they ain't gonna let that motherfucker throw the ball that much to throw 3 picks. After he
I
get
got the
one,
Colts doing it. I ain't gonna hold you.
after he get 1 or 2, they gonna be like, all right, Derrick, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So Sam has the Titans winning the division. How do you see the Titans season shaping up?
So I'll start with just kind of general overview. The kind of biggest thing going into their season that's different from last year is Derrick Henry's coming back healthy, and there's a big question mark about who the number one option for Ryan Tannehill is going to be. Since they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles on draft night, they took Treylon Burks, the 18th pick in the first round, and that's who I have as the number one option coming in, not only just because they took him so high and is working preseason, but also the second option they have is Robert Woods, who's coming off an big injury, and is likely going to miss some time at the beginning of the season. But even if that weren't the case, even if he were to play all 18 games, I still think I'm taking Treylon Burks. Just injury factored in and performance of Robert Woods last year, even on the Rams. I think Treylon Burks is just primed to be Ryan Tannehill's number one option coming in, and they've kind of gone all in on him from where they drafted him so high. So to get into their record a little bit and how I see the season shaking out, I got them going 10-7 overall. And the week by week breakdown, they start versus the Giants at home. I got them winning that game. Week 2 is at the Bills. I have them losing that game. Week 3, they have the Raiders at home. I got them winning that game. Yeah, that's one that I think is going to be a really entertaining game, one that I think could be really close. But one thing that in doing my research, just going week by week, is that Vrabel is really experienced with Josh McDaniels from their time together, and I think we'll be able to kind of game that a little bit in their favor, kind of the same way he was able to against Belichick in the playoffs a few years ago. And I think that Tennessee is just going to go super run heavy in that game, and that Vegas isn't going to be able to match that with their O-line problems and just Josh Jacobs in general. Week 4 at the Colts, I have them losing. So this could impact out who I see winning the division. I didn't go through the Colts schedule week by week. So if they end up 10-7 too, in this hypothetical world, I have them splitting this series. So it would come down to a tiebreaker there. Tennessee won both games last year, if I'm not mistaken. But I think with Matt Ryan, the Colts will be able to get them at home for sure. Week 5 at the Commanders, I have them winning. Their bye is week 6. I have them winning at home versus the Colts coming off the bye, winning at the Texans, and then 4 losses in a row. This is a really tough stretch. Versus at the Chiefs, home versus the Broncos, at Green Bay, and then home versus the Bengals. I think they're going to lose all 4 of those games. They could maybe pull one out. The one I was conflicted about most is I think they could beat the Broncos at home. But I ended up just thinking that Russ could probably pull that one out. I have them winning at the Eagles week 13, which they will not be favored in that game most likely, but that's an upset. I have them pulling out. That's 2 what we think are going to be run-heavy teams, but I have a feeling the Eagles are not going to be as run-heavy as they were last year. But if they try to get into that game, I just think Tennessee will have the edge. Week 14 at home versus the Jags, I think they'll win. At the Chargers, week 15, I think they'll lose. And then I got them winning 3 games to close the season, home versus the Texans, home versus the Cowboys, and away at Jacksonville.
Okay. This is like Keith's favorite thing right now. Are Ryan Tannehill's days as QB1 in Tennessee numbered this season?
I don't think this season they are, because I think they'll be in a position to have success and potentially be able to compete for the division and win it. So because of that, I think they'll keep going with Tannehill, but I think that his days are numbered as the quarterback just in general. But since I still think they'll be competing at a high level, I just don't think they'll turn it over to Malik Willis that early.
Okay. Okay, because Keith has been preying on Tannehill's downfall.
Look, I don't think Ryan Tannehill is amazing. I think they'll just, as a team, it kind of seems like everyone underrates the Titans going into every season, and as a team collectively, they're able to perform. And I mean, Derrick Henry's able to mask a lot of problems, like exactly what Keith said. Ryan Tannehill is not going to throw 3 picks again if Derrick Henry is operating as Derrick Henry. He just needs to get the ball to Treylon Burks, get the ball to Austin Hooper. If Robert Woods comes back, I mean, he has some weapons. Nick Westbrook, I don't know how you say the second part of his last name, Ikiki, something like that. But yeah, I mean, he still has decent weapons. He is by no means like a sexy quarterback or even someone you would be like excited to draft in fantasy. But I think he'll keep them in a position to compete this year, and that's what they're going to be looking to do.
They got Austin Hooper too, but I hope old boy the Rook comes for that job. I swear, after that shit he said when they drafted him about like mentoring him, I hope Malik Willis comes for that job quick as fuck. Quick, bro. Like Tannehill knows he can't throw that many picks in the game. Like he cannot have a game where he looks awful, because then they're gonna be like, all right, bro, we might. And then they put Malik in, say he throws 3 picks, and they're like, all right, Malik, go in, and Malik lights that shit up. Boy, Tanny's done. And that's the crazy shit. I don't even think Tanny's like hot garbage, but just the shit he said and just I can't fuck with it.
Does it not sit with you?
But yeah,
I will say, I mean, it could look a lot different. I have them going 3-2 through their first 5 games, but that's including wins versus the Raiders and Commanders. If they lose those games and start like 1-4, it could look a lot different for Ryan Tannehill for sure. So I think the beginning of the season is really where we'll see that play out.
Especially if that D-line on the football team like finally gets moving again. I mean, they're not gonna have Chase for 4 games, but let's be honest, even without Chase, that shit looks crazy.
They got him week 5, so he could be back.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that's
Okay. Look, Cliff, let's talk about the Texans, my guy. This is an interesting season. The first thing I want to talk about is Lovie Smith, who has somehow went back into the news cycle for like not being successful, but somehow becoming the head coach of the Texans. So what do you expect from Lovie Smith? And like, to be fair, Lovie Smith also took a team to the Super Bowl. So like, let's not forget that. But recent history has not been kind to him. What do you expect from him as a head coach this year?
I think I like Lovie Smith for the Texans right now and where they're at, and I hope they have a lot of success. But with that team, I mean, they just got a lot of holes to fill, obviously, and they got some draft picks for the following year. So depending on how this year goes, but I'm rooting for him. He's one of 3 black head coaches in the league, and probably is the one in the worst situation as far as the team they got. But I'm hoping he has a solid season. I don't see it. I'll do my record prediction here in a moment, and it won't be great. But I think they're going to be in some games where you're like, they should be in that game. Like they're gonna definitely have games like that, as people are going to sleep on them, and that's just how it goes in the NFL.
Okay. So a lot of people last year during the hiring cycle thought they would go hire Josh McCown. And then, the whole Brian Flores lawsuit dropped. Then there was a lot of, heat on hiring someone that had never been a coach on any level in the NFL to take that spot, or in college to take that spot. And instead they made him like a quarterback's coach. Do you think Lovie Smith is actually just a bridge for Josh McCown?
I hate to say it, but that could 100% be the case. And they just say, we know we're not winning. So come on, Lovie, and carry this team to a few wins.
One of the few wins.
One of the few wins that we're going to get this year. And we'll just have an excuse to let you go next year if we want to go another direction.
Okay, so what do you see this team looking like? Oh, does anybody else have anything to say about this whole Lovie Smith, Josh McCown's conspiracy theory that I'm high on?
No, I mean, yeah,
that damn so gonna do that.
The plan's already set in stone. Right?
I'm gonna be pissed when it happens. I'm just throw that out there now.
Hey.
So next year when we talk about it, just know I'm gonna go off.
We're gonna come back to this point right here,
bro. If that Brian Flores shit didn't happen, they was damn sure doing it. Yeah. Like that literally was the only thing that stopped it. Like nobody else was stopping that train of getting Josh McCown. And I'm not saying he don't deserve to coach in the league, but there's no way he can jump what everybody else has to go through. Like you can't just, hey, I'm coaching a high school team, I should coach in the NFL. No fucking way.
No.
Bitch, if that's the case, I can go coach in the NFL.
Now I can see if he was like a quarterback coach or something like that, because
he is now. That's what they did to him.
But I'm saying like start there first for a couple years. Let's see if you're gonna be successful in this role first.
That's what they did. They threw the oop. They're like, all right, you already here now, so you get your experience
on the low next year. Just figure out how Lovey run it next year.
I think David. I actually like David Mills. I think he's gonna be all right for them.
I don't think David Mills is bad at all.
Nah, so I think that's gonna make McCown look good too. So another reason for him. And they just didn't they pick up some? They picked up thought they picked up a receiver today.
A receiver.
Yeah, I think they did. I just can't think of who it is.
They claimed Tyler Johnson on the waiver wire
from the Bucks. Yeah. And he actually might help them for real. I think. I mean, you lose Michi for the entire season, and you got Nico and Moore.
And Cooks. Brandon Cooks is.
Brandon Cooks is the guy. Brandon Cooks is the guy. But I think you bring in. I think Nico's going to have a solid year. And then you bring in Tyler Johnson, who I think can immediately come in there and be a 3, and compete to be a 3. So they were deep in the wide receiver room with the Bucks. So as far as where I think this team's going to be, they're obviously going to be at the bottom of the pack.
It's so worse than the Jaguars.
Yeah. I think the Jags did enough in the offseason to be a 3, to hold themselves solid at 3. They're not going. They might steal one from the Colts or the Titans. They might steal one, but they're not going to be 1 or 2 in that debate.
Hey, don't be shocked when I give my prediction.
Okay. All right. So they're gonna lose a lot of games. What games do you think the Texans can win?
That's an easy way to do it. All right. So we're gonna fast forward to week 9.
Oh damn!
I mean, listen to this stretch right here, man. You got the Colts at home. You're home against the Colts. You're at the Broncos. At the Bears. Now this is one I kind of went back and forth with, but I think you're at the Bears. I think the Bears can come out with that one. I know Ant's hype about that one. You got the Chargers, at the Jags. I think the Jags will beat them at home. At the Raiders, home against the Titans, home against the Eagles. Week 9 at the Jets. I think they still won from the New York Giants. It can happen. This one was another one I was back and forth on. The Commanders, following that, I think they lose that game. I think the Commanders' defensive line is going to destroy them. At the Dolphins, and then that game everybody's going to be waiting for, week 12. I think they beat the Browns. I think Deshaun comes out and he ain't played a game he played in a preseason game for a little bit, and he coming against his own. You know those fans gonna be on 10 against him, man. You know it's just gonna be the atmosphere is gonna be a lot for him to. And the league knew what they was doing. The league knew what they was doing, by the way, because he should have got 12 games, and all of a sudden it's 11 randomly. They knew what they was doing.
It's 11, but he still don't come back for 12.
That's how they set him up. They said, we're going to put you in the worst position possible. You're not going to miss that one.
He's like, I really thought it should have been 12, so I'm just going to give myself the 12.
You know they're not going to mess up the ratings for nobody.
Nah, they was like, we actually going to put you right here, prime time. I don't know what time that game is, but you know what I mean. That game's going to be tuned in. Everybody's gonna be watching that game, regardless
Exactly.
of what the matchup is. Everybody's gonna be watching that game, and I think the Texans are gonna. I think they're gonna beat them.
They're gonna be hyped for sure.
Yeah, and then you got at the Cowboys, obviously an L. Home against the Chiefs, L. At the Titans, L. And then you got home against the Jags. They steal that one against the Jags.
Okay.
And then they lose. This also could be a playoff bearing game, but I assume they lose at the Colts, depending on. I don't think the Colts are going to be in a position to not play their starters in that week because of how close the Titans are going to be. So, I got them finishing 3-14.
Whew. I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
It's tough. There's maybe a game or two I could have gave them, but I don't see it.
All right. T.O. got the Jags. Okay. And
So hot over here either.
and you got the winning more than 3 games?
Yeah, I gotta win more than 3 though. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. We about right there. We even out about right.
So my big question for you is, what do you expect from year 2 Trevor Lawrence now that he has Doug Peterson instead of Urban Meyer?
I mean, I feel like we'll see some progression, but it's not going to be like Joey Burrow type progression. I mean, just look at, obviously we're talking about the Jags here. So, but granted, they did bring some pieces in around them, such as like Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Brandon Scherf, the center, Luke Fortner, and then ETN is back. So he got some pieces around him that's going to allow him to, gradually progress. However, I don't see it being, Trevor Lawrence can will us to wins. I don't see it that type of progression. So, he'll have some progression, but it ain't gonna be like major leap like a Joey Burrow type of thing.
Okay, that's fair. Is he gonna look like at least like rookie Burrow? Because rookie Burrow looked decent too. He didn't win games, but he put up numbers.
With no O-line either.
Yeah, he didn't win games, but he put up numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely. He could potentially look like that. Like they might not win games, but his stats might look. Hopefully they look better than last year. So
they better.
Yeah, because what he had like a league tying 17 interceptions to like 13 touchdowns or something like that. So, I mean, he'll definitely look better than that for sure. And he was just in a bad situation, and all of that stuff plays a factor into playing the game. So I feel like he'll definitely do better this year for sure.
Okay. And I think the best thing about his situation is now all eyes are on Christian Kirk instead of him. Because of how much money they gave that man.
Yeah.
Can he live up to that contract?
Hell no.
You better catch every rock thrown to you, man. Get paid all that money.
Hell no. It's just honestly just that simple. He's just not a true number 1 receiver. Like that's not what he is. He's a 3-2 at best. And his best year was last year. Had 982 yards receiving on 77 receptions. That's decent. And I feel like, that's a good number 2, number 3 receiver, but definitely not your number 1 at all. So, and they still have Marvin Jones. So, maybe they just need him to make plays. I mean, I'm not sure what that's going to look like for them. I mean, they got some playmakers with, Christian Kirk, ETN, James Robinson. So, I mean,
they traded him.
Yeah, they traded him to the Panthers. So it opens up more, room to get him the ball a little bit more. But, I mean, we'll have to see what it looks like. Because, I mean, you got to use them. You just paid them all that money. So
offensive line here, the additions in their offensive line is going to be the biggest leap in his performance, I think.
I do think Christian Kirk will be a dog in fantasy, though. Whether he's a true wide receiver 1 or not, he's pretty underrated in fantasy.
He's getting the ball. I mean,
exactly.
You pay that man that money, you getting the ball, and ain't nobody else there. I mean, you say Marvin Jones, but
exactly,
he about old. They lost DJ Chark.
And he be hurt too. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. So he's finna get. You got to replace them targets, so he's gonna get the ball. So we're gonna see if he's lives up to that contract.
They're gonna be playing from behind.
So. They got Evan Ingram. So
we know he got butter on his hands. That boy can't catch.
All
You mean?
Yeah. Okay. So what do you see the record and the schedule playing out like for the Jaguars?
All right. So at best, I got them going 6-11. At worst, I
Okay.
got them going 5-12. So 6 games is probably the most they're going to win, honestly. So week 1, I got them taking the L at Washington to the Commanders in Washington. Week 2, I got them beating the Colts at home. And y'all probably already know this, but the Colts haven't won there since 2014.
You don't think Matt Ryan can break that?
It sound more like a cultural thing to me because you got, Andrew Luck, who couldn't do anything. Jacoby Brissett. You got Phillip Rivers.
That's true.
I mean, the beat goes on. So you ain't won there in 8 years. The beat continues. You ask me.
What's
And
going on out there in Jacksonville? They
End
like,
of the season last year, and they had Carson Wentz last year, but they helped them out of the playoffs. So if you ask me, they get that dub there week 2. Week 3, I got them taking the L to the Chargers. 4 is an L to the Eagles. Week 5, I got them beating Houston at home. Week 6, I got them taking the L to the Colts. 7, I got them beating the Giants. Week 8, got them losing to the Broncos. 9 is an L to the Raiders. 10, L to the Chiefs. 12, an L to the Ravens. Week 13 in Detroit, got them beating the Lions, but then taking the L to the Titans, taking the L to the Cowboys. See, this Jets game right here, week 16, is a toss-up for me. So I feel like it could go either way, but I got them beating the Jets in New York. Got them getting the dub at Houston and the L at the Titans. So, like I say, 6-11 or 5-12. It's a toss-up.
I don't mind that at all. So I got the Colts, right? And I thought the Colts were going to win this division. I still do. And I thought they were going to go 11-6. So if Sam's prediction holds true and my holds true, the Colts will squeak through. And I just feel like the reason why is because Matt Ryan will make a really big difference for this team. I think the one and first and foremost thing is Matt Ryan is going to go in there and just follow the game plan to a T. Like, we all heard all the rumors about Carson Wentz checking out of run plays when he wasn't supposed to because he wanted to throw the ball. Yo, and you had the best running back that was healthy in football at the time. And he was checking out the run plays, right? So
just imagine.
Take that action to Washington. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
And Matt Ryan is just not that type of guy. He's only going to check out of the run play when it's necessary to punish the defense. Like, they stack the box, they got a mismatch.
I feel like they'll trust him, though, to make that call, as opposed to Carson Wentz.
They'll trust him because they know he's only going to do it in that situation to punish the defense because of the way that they're playing. And he also might, tell Jonathan Taylor to peel out, and use him on a route because, that's what really experienced high-level quarterbacks do. Because Matt Ryan is in a situation where he has nothing left to prove numbers-wise. The only thing that can change Matt Ryan's legacy is a Super Bowl ring or another Super Bowl appearance. That's it. If Matt Ryan throws for 5,000 yards this year, that does not change how we see Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan,
he do that every year,
right? I think Matt Ryan wouldn't care if he had Jimmy G number throwing attempts if he got to the Super Bowl. I just truthfully believe that because he's a made man as far as the NFL goes and what we see him as. I think that between that and the fact that I think Jonathan Taylor has a good chance to lead the league in rushing, although I'm going to take Derrick Henry, but that dude is insanely talented. With the Titans losing A.J. Brown, I just feel like they're going to run more even because they have to, which is just going to bode well for Derrick. But, Jonathan Taylor could definitely lead the league in rushing for a second year in a row, but I feel like they'll be more comfortable passing in Indy, upgrading their quarterback, and having a quarterback that can upgrade receivers such as Pittman versus a downgrade in weapons in Tennessee. So I had them going 11-6. Week 1, they see the Texans. It's a dub. Week 2, they see the Jaguars at Jaguars. You said this was an L. I said it was a W because I'm believing in Matt Ryan. Now,
Okay.
it would be hilarious if they lose this game because then they would end up being tied. And then it's all about the tiebreakers with the Titans. But week 3, I have them losing to the Chiefs at home. Then I have them beating the Titans at home week 4. Week 5, I have them losing at the Broncos. Week 6, I have them winning at home versus the Jaguars. Week 7, I have them losing to the Titans on the road. Week 8, I have them beating the Commanders. Week 9, I have them beating the Patriots on the road. Week 10, I have them losing to the Raiders on the road. Week 11, I have them losing to the Eagles. Week 12, I have them beating the Steelers. They're at home. Week 13, I have them beating the Cowboys. They're on the road in Jerry's World. I'm just saying. Week 14 is their bye. Week 15, I think they'll beat the Vikings. Week 16, they'll lose to the Chargers. Week 17, they'll beat the Giants. Week 18, they'll beat the Texans. Puts them at 11-6 to win the division. But look, you had very good points about that Jaguars game, which then leads up to tiebreakers to win the division. So that's like the whole rundown that we got for the AFC South. We'll move down to the NFC South. Keith, you got the Bucks, my guy.
This is crazy. This is crazy because I'm not a Bucks fan at all. Can't stand the Bucks. Oh my god! All right, so
Hold up. Who we got winning the division?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, I think it's obvious it's the Bucks. I mean, unless the
no
Saints
brainer.
can do everybody,
Who that?
unless everybody healthy, and then the O line struggles with Tampa's a big deal. I think it's just Tampa. Like they're just that roster's really top heavy in the right spots for them. I would say, especially with who they're going against. But for the record, I got Tampa. I'm going to read it off. I normally don't do this, but I'll go week to week. So at Dallas, Cliff, I think you guys are going to take that one. Against New Orleans, I say New Orleans takes one. They're going to split with New Orleans. I'm not giving them the win against New
They'll
Orleans.
be lucky to split.
They start 0-2. You think the Bucks start 0-2?
Yeah. Green Bay, with no Devontae Adams and a true number one early, like in game 3, I don't think Romeo Dobbs or Christian Watson are all the way there. They beat Green Bay. Against Kansas City without Tyreek, I think because they're going to, much like the Packers, Kansas City's going to try to run the ball against a team that's run defense is insane. I think they're going to beat Kansas City again. Or they'll beat Kansas City. So that's 2 wins. Atlanta, they're going to beat Atlanta. That gives them 3. Pitt, I think Pitt might give them trouble. So
the rush?
Yeah, the pass rush, I think with TJ Watt, I mean, he's going to line up and go against Tristan Wirfs, but then you still got Cam Hayward. They signed over Malik Reed from the Broncos. They got Miles Jack. Their defense is really top heavy when you look at it. Carolina, they're going to beat Carolina. Them against us, I don't know. I mean, the way Baltimore is doing this shit, I'd say they probably beat us.
Oh,
now I don't know, but because they have the number one, they have a top 5 rush defense. You know what I'm saying? So to run the ball at them is going to be difficult. And you add the fact that you got rid of Hollywood Brown. I don't know who the Ravens think is going to replace that amount of speed. Like it doesn't matter the times he drops the ball. You can't teach speed that just gets open down the field. So with that, not having someone to stretch the field like that, I think that will be detrimental to the game. I mean, Isaiah Likely is looking crazy, but they could probably. I'll give the Bucks the edge on that. Against Los Angeles, they're gonna lose. So right now, I have them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, and we're going into Seattle. They're gonna beat Seattle 6. Cleveland's giving them 7. New Orleans, they're gonna lose. San Francisco, I think they'll lose. Does that sound crazy?
I mean, Trey Lance beating out Tom Brady sounds a little spicy. I won't lie to you, but the rush, Tampa has a Bosa.
Yeah, they got to deal with Bosa. And, J.C. Treader up and retired. So there ain't too many answers to get a setter in, like, the spots they need somebody. They got Shaq Mason, but Donovan Smith, their left tackle, is hot garbage. I would honestly put Tristan Wirfs at left tackle and move him to right tackle. That's just me. We already know both their centers went down. I think one of them can possibly come back. So moving on. Against Cincinnati, I think that's a loss too. I don't think they can handle the receivers on Cincy. And Cincy's pass rush is kind of nice. Cincy awkwardly has like a well put together team overall. Like it's not, I don't know if it's awkward. I think people say like, oh, they just got to the Super Bowl and surprised everybody. But if you look at their whole team, like up and down, especially getting Lyle Collins from the Cowboys, I think it helped their roster out tremendously. So
they got
the Bucks
from us too.
Yeah, so they take 2 losses there. Against Arizona, I think they'll get the dub against Arizona. I know Nuke will be back at that point, but I think they win. So that's 8. Carolina's 9. They'll beat Atlanta. That's 10. So I say 10 wins at worst, and then at best they probably get 12 to 13. So I would have them there. There's some gimmies or like close games possibly. And then what else do we have for them? How much does offensive line concern me? I think it's a major deal. I think when you have Tom Brady, if you look at back when he played the Ravens, you look back against those games with Steelers, teams that pressure him, getting in his face. It's a big deal when the middle of the line is going to be getting pressured like that. It disrupts it. I think out of all the teams they're going to see, Green Bay has a rookie linebacker that is going to be pretty good with a good pass rush. Carolina, Brian Burns is ridiculously fast, and Tom Brady doesn't move. So that's going to be a problem.
The thing with Tom is, like, if you can get him off the spot, that's how you can beat him.
Yeah, you make him do that first move where he's uncomfortable, and then he has to, like, kind of readjust. Like, don't get me wrong, he can still get the ball where it needs to be, but he'll be uncomfortable having to move from the spot he wants to go to. So, if you move him off that one spot, I think, especially with the middle of the line being a problem, you already know Donovan Smith on the left side is a problem. Tristan Wirfs the only fucking person on the line worth a damn at this point. Who's going to step up and be Brady's number 2 with Godwin returning an injury? Assuming Mike Evans is number 1. I want to say Julio, but you got to see if he's healthy. I think that's the big what if, like always.
He got to stay healthy, yeah.
Yeah,
on Cameron Brate.
Yeah, last in 3 years, I have no faith in Cameron Brate. If I was them, I'd go sign it.
Kyle Rudolph? They got Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, I have more faith in Kyle Rudolph, and he's old as shit, and I still don't. I have more faith in him. If I'm them, I'm going to go sign Eric Ebron because I'm not betting on Cameron Brate in the passing game at worth of shit. I don't think they'll necessarily be hurting at number 2 because there's they have a lot of quality wideouts even with like Godwin not there. You got Julio. They let go of Tyler Johnson because the room's so big. They have they still got Scotty Miller, still got little Scotty, and I think they have someone else. I think they still got Brashad Perryman, who's
picked up boy from the Falcons. Yeah.
So
I think it's nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem with Godwin getting eased back. I just think the big issue is that everybody doesn't do what Godwin does. Godwin plays like a Anquan Bowl and Steve Smith physical type of role where you can, hey, I need you to do this, and he just can do it. Like, I don't think – I think, people question, hey, is Mike Williams really a number 1 receiver on another team? Like, people are like, I don't know if he's a true number 1 on another team. I think with Godwin, he's a true number 1 on another team. He might not have insane numbers, but he could be a number 1 on another team.
Godwin can play inside and out too.
Yeah, so that
makes
you see people with you saw the Packers last year with Devontae Adams. Like you being able to play inside and out, you just get put in motion. They'll run you all over the place. I feel like that's going to hurt Tampa at first because they're so used to being able to tell Godwin to do whatever. But I think that's going to be a big thing for them to figure out. What's up, Sam, the coffee man? Sam, I hope that's not you on your phone. Right
no,
now.
It's a different Sam.
Sam, the coffee man.
Sam is over here on a burner.
Yeah.
The burner is also Sam.
I was like, yo, this is fucking Sam, bro. What you doing? So, yeah, at best, what did I say? 10-7, or at worst 10-7, high and 12-13. So we'll have to see what they do. But I think the O-line. Oh, I don't see them winning the the Super Bowl. If anybody's wondering.
No,
I see
no
them-
one was wondering with this offensive line.
Some people, there's some Tampa fans that definitely said they're going to win. The delusional fans of the last 2
Come on
years
now.
definitely said they were going to win.
Yeah,
You
no,
already know
I
what
had.
time it is with them.
Hold on, y'all gotta see this.
Don't believe them.
Sam said, "Don't believe them. I am Sam on my burger."
It's funny, boy. He took the lesson from KD.
Okay, look. I'm gonna actually kick this to Sam so he can tweet Burner and also talk at the same time, particularly because I had the Saints winning the division as well. So I'm with you.
Y'all
Right.
think it's crazy.
Boy, you hear me? Yeah, y'all tripping.
Look.
What?
I will probably be. Look, I'm okay being wrong. I just until I see this Tampa Bay offensive line protect Tom and not look extremely bad, I cannot say they'll win the division because a muddy pocket is Tom Brady's only kryptonite. That man has, like kryptonite, he is Superman. He has one weakness. It ain't age. It ain't father time. It ain't having a bad defense. It is one thing, and it's a muddy pocket.
Hey, no, it's two. He said the best DB he's ever played is Ed Reed. He gives him all the trouble in the world. So if Ed Reed was 10 more years younger, it'd be great.
Hey, well, apparently the Saints give him trouble, so
Yeah.
that's up with them every year. So
They do too.
They've been beating that ass in the regular season nonstop.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. If I had to bet, Mike is getting 2 sacks that night. That's why I said I don't think they're beating the Cowboys because I feel like Mike is gonna get unleashed against a shitty line.
I hope you have about 4 of them things, man.
Yeah,
We
bro,
need-
you're gonna have to
we need
Marcus
about
Lawrence
4 of them
out there,
things.
too. I think Diggs probably snags a pick.
Ooh.
Hey, we stole one last year. I mean,
Okay.
stole one last
All
year.
right, Sam. The first thing I want from you is what do you think the ceiling is for this Saints team with the new head coach and Dennis Allen?
I think the ceiling is as long as Jameis is healthy. The ceiling is they can win this division and make some noise in the playoffs. Do I think they're going to get to the Super Bowl? No, but I think they could win a playoff game for sure.
Can they get to the NFC Championship? Yo, why everybody's face gets so close?
Based off the competition in the NFC, I think they could.
Okay.
Like, do I think they could get to the AFC Championship? No, but that's not the question.
That is fair. That is very fair. Okay. Then predict Jameis Winston's season stats. He plays all 17 games. He's healthy. What do you see from him?
So I think this is going to be Jameis's best season. I don't think he'll get to the 5,000 yards he got to in 2019, but I'm going to go off the – there are a couple things you have to factor in. You know, he's been all over the place in yards in his career. He's had 5,100 one year. He's had like around 3,300 a couple times. He's had in the 4,000s. So with the Saints being a pretty run-heavy offense, or at least dumping it off in the backfield, I don't think he's going for that 5,100. I see him around 4,000 passing yards. Another thing you have to factor in with Jameis is interceptions, because the year he had 5,100 yards, he also had 30 picks.
30
for 30 during the season.
Hey, small fact.
10
Small
of them
fact.
bitches got tips. 10 of them bitches got tips.
Hey, he was winning fantasy championships around the world because he was my starting quarterback. 2 point, hey, I'll take that 2 points when you go give me 200 more yards, 3 touchdowns all day long.
That's a fact. And
All day long.
through 7 games last year, Jameis threw 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. We saw it with
He was doing better.
much less good targets much less good receiving options than he's going to have this year. They've added Chris Olave, added Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas should be back for at least part of the season, hopefully most of it. So his weapons have upgraded. The rate he was at in the offense last year, the interceptions are down. So for Jameis, I expect around 4,000 yards. I want to say 12 interceptions and 27 touchdowns.
That's very reasonable of you.
Yeah.
Like that's actually like really reasonable. I thought you were going to say like 35 TDs and like 8 picks, and I was going to be like, well now.
Because like one thing I was looking at when just thinking about this is like, where is Jameis versus like Jimmy Garoppolo? Because Jimmy Garoppolo has gotten a really good team in the 49ers, like far in the playoffs, but Jameis has had a lot of better seasons than Jimmy Garoppolo. So if you put Jameis in the right system, he doesn't have to. We've seen that quarterbacks don't have to be superstars for teams to have a lot of success. So I think if Jameis can continue to cut down on the interceptions, I think the LASIK that he got the season before he came to the Saints, I think it's actually working. Honestly, like it looked pretty good last year.
He without the quarterback whisperer now too, though.
Yeah.
Hey, but that shouldn't affect your eyes. If LASIK was the problem, I don't want to hear I'm throwing 30 picks because the LASIK don't work no more because Sean Payton ain't around.
Hey, no, he threw the 30 picks and then got LASIK, bro.
Hey, you can't compare him to Jimmy because I think the big difference is yes, Jameis has a way bigger arm and maybe he'll make those clutch throws depending, but Jimmy's not gonna throw. I think the interception in those moments, Jameis will throw the interception. I think
Jimmy's not going to throw enough to throw
exactly.
the same number of interceptions.
But I'm saying he's not going to throw that interception. Jameis might.
We've seen him do it against the Packers in the playoffs, but the Rodgers could not capitalize. Like this last year, Jimmy threw the game away, goal line pick, and then Rodgers came up double short. Like we've seen him do it. He just never going to throw the ball enough times to throw the Jameis numbers of interceptions.
He's never gotten punished for it, essentially. Like no one's ever
he's
never lost a big game. He's lost big games, but he's never lost like, oh, you threw the interception, it's over, we're done. Like he'll get another chance. Normally, I would say.
Just to be clear, the only reason I think it's like comparable is like you have a really good defense, good offensive weapons, solid offensive line. You throw in a quarterback who's not a superstar, and they can still get you to the NFC Championship. Yeah. We've just seen that with Jimmy G. So I think Jameis can serve like a similar role, even with he has a bigger arm for sure.
You think he makes that throw to Debo and doesn't overshoot Debo? Or not Debo, Emmanuel Sanders?
Yes.
Hey, Cliff, you think he's making that throw to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl?
LASIK Jameis? Different.
I like Jameis, man. I think he's an interesting character, but I think with that team, he also had a great defense with the Bucs when he was there, and he has a good defense, or they were all right when he was there. But his defense with the Saints is really good. I know they lost Armstead and their rookie Penning just got hurt. I don't know exactly how long he's out, but
he's out for the season. He tore ligaments in his foot.
Yeah,
those kind of hurt, but those other three, the other right tackle, Ramczyk, and then their guard or center, both of them, I think they're good. So they just got to fill in those other two, and he's got weapons with Michael Thomas. If he's back and anywhere close to who he is, Jarvis Landry, and then if Chris Olave, turns up and that speed to stretch the field with that cannon, then you got a big body, you got a route runner, and you got speed. And then you got that guy, and you got that guy in the backfield. So, I mean, he's got everything you need. Defense, obviously. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't think it's out of the realm to say that they can win that division. To be honest with you,
that's true.
Okay, facts. Sam,
and they gonna eat a W.
I mean, Sam has them eating a lot of W's this year. Run us through how you see their record ending up.
So I got them ending the season 10-7. Week 1 at the Falcons, I got them winning Week 2 versus the Bucks. I got them winning. The reason I don't have the Bucks winning the division, we've all talked about, is just questions at O-line. And I think the tiebreaker is just going to go the Saints' way. I see both, like, if the Bucks end up 10-7, and the Saints end up 10-7, I think that there's a pretty solid chance that the Saints win both of those games, just based off how things have gone in the past, and that the Saints win the division on a tiebreaker. Week 3 at the Panthers, I got them winning. Week 4 versus the Vikings at home, I got them losing. Week 5 versus the Seahawks at home, I got them winning. Got them losing week 6 against the Bengals. Winning week 7 at the Cardinals. Winning week 8 versus the Raiders. I got them losing to the Ravens. I do think that the Saints defense will give Lamar and the Ravens run game some trouble, but I just think that's one that the Ravens will come into the Superdome and steal. Ravens will probably even be favored as the away team in that game, just depending on how things go. But I do think the Ravens win that game. Week 10 versus Steelers, I got the Saints winning. Week 11 versus the Rams, I got them losing. I also got them losing Week 12 at the 49ers. At the Bucks, Week 13, I got them going in and winning again. Week 14, bye. And then I got them winning against the Falcons and at the Browns. Week 15, 16, and then 2 L's to close out the season at the Eagles. And then I think the Panthers will come into the Superdome week 18 and give them some trouble.
Yeah, it's crazy because we've talked about 2 of the 6 games Deshaun Watson can play, and both of y'all said he was going to lose them games.
Yeah, bro. Good luck coming back to that defense.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Okay, I like this so far. We got T.O., you got the Falcons, you got the Dirty Birds. I got a lot of questions about Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts looked ridiculous last year.
Yeah, I mean,
can he be a top 2 tight end? I won't say 1. So we know Travis or Mark might have that, but can he beat out the other?
I think he can. And the reason I'm going to say that is because if y'all recall last season, they didn't unleash him early in the season. And then when they did, it was like, holy shit. So to me, the man is a matchup nightmare. The man is I don't even want to say this, but the man is pretty much Khaled Johnson at tight end. Size and speed and his catch radius, the man don't drop the ball. So when you look at that, obviously he don't got the weight wise, but just the man 6'4", 6'5", something like that, 6'6", and run a 4.4 at tight end. So I mean, need I say anymore? I mean, we see what happened when they let him off the leash last year. He start turning up. So I think he definitely can, but they're definitely going to have to unleash him and feed him the ball, because just like in college, you get him going, it's hard to stop them, man.
Okay, I like that. Vegas currently has Drake London in the top 3 for Rookie of the Year odds. Are you buying him winning Rookie of the Year?
Hell no. And no. I don't even know
strongly.
Why. No. Why is this? Why did they put him top 3? It's not even going to be close to him being finishing top 3 Rookie of the Year. I don't think, personally. Have you seen that Atlanta Falcons roster?
Did they normally give it to skill position players Rookie of the Year, or do linemen ever win it?
I feel like you're probably a quarterback or you're probably on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Did Micah Parsons win it last year?
I feel like he had to have, right?
If he did it, then there is no defensive player that's ever going to win that shit.
Oh, shit. Jamar Chase.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, Jamar Chase was crazy.
Oh, wait, no. I think there's offensive and defensive.
There's offensive and defensive.
Okay.
Yeah. Micah won it. Yeah.
Okay, Micah won the defensive one. Yeah. They really, right now, it's Kenny Pickett at plus 700, Drake London and Chris Olave both at plus 800.
Shit,
Those are the current.
I'm taking George Pickens or Sky Moore. Book it.
Sky Moore is at plus 1,000. He's down there with like George Pickens,
Hey,
Garrett Wilson.
That's because we don't know yet. We don't. Once the season get rolling, I think those guys will
Book
be
it.
big play rollers for those teams.
Yeah,
Hey,
I just think other players are in better position to
Right now,
potentially
right
win.
now.
For sure.
Like the
At this point,
Falcons, like you're not in a good position to be winning. Rookie of the year. I don't think.
time out.
Nah.
Who y'all boys got defensively since we brought this up? I was meaning to ask all y'all this anyway.
What you mean this year?
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
defensive year, because I got Aiden Hutchinson or Quay Walker.
Yo, Aiden Hutchinson is at plus 450. He's head and heels above everybody else in the odds. So that's not bad. I actually kind of like Kayvon Thibodeau.
He just got injured.
I was thinking about that, but it's not
he's
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
not serious.
He'll be back. In Wink system, I'd let you know he ain't getting 10 plus sacks. That shit gonna have him dropping in the coverage, some wild shit.
I mean, I'm gonna go with I don't know, just because
That's tough, bro.
I'm gonna go with Walker down in Jacksonville.
Hey, Sauce already got a motherfucking B-Dubs sponsorship, the Sauce. Y'all heard about
He's
that?
gonna be out there getting sauce too.
Oh, hey, I think his best matchup is week 1 against us, because after that, bitch go through the gauntlet to go see us. Like he better get off. And that's the thing. I don't even know if Baltimore gonna put that bitch in the air enough for him to get a chance. Because after that, who he go see? I think he gets lucky and doesn't have to see Nuke, or he sees Nuke when Nuke comes back. Man, I'm not trying to see none of those corners.
You know who I'm putting my money on. You know who I'm putting my money on.
Oh, their schedule here. I got it. He sees us, and then he sees the Brownies with Amari Cooper.
Hey, listen, Amari Cooper gonna rod him up now. Come
Oh,
on.
Or Amari Cooper can just take the day off. You don't even know. You don't even know.
All right,
But no,
you
Flip
got
a
it.
coin.
what if the rookie or no, there's no rookie in the Browns. And then they got the Bengals. There's a trio. The
Yeah,
Jets
he's getting cooked.
against the Steelers. The Dolphins.
That boy finna be out here like Adrian Broner. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Bro,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
that Dolphins one alone gonna make him scratch his head.
Yo.
Boy. They play
Aiden
all
said he had the
coverage all
Steelers
day.
right before there with Juju, Deontay, and George Pickens.
Nah, Juju on the Chiefs, but George Pickens.
Sorry, not
gonna be
Juju. Deontay, Pickens, and the third guy.
Claypool.
Claypool.
Yeah, Pickens gonna be
They
damn near
both
final
TikTok ass niggas. That's why I got them mixed up.
grade. Bro, he's
But
gonna
I
go
mean,
through it.
for
Like,
these Falcons, man, these dirty birds, bro, I got them at worst. I got them going 4-13. At best, I got them going 5-12. So, I mean, shit ain't looking good for them, in my opinion. So, I got them starting off 0-2, Saints and Rams, getting a dub against the Seahawks in Seattle. Then I got them losing to the Browns, Bucks, Niners, Bengals. Then week 8, I got them winning against the Panthers at home. And then I got them losing to the Chargers, losing at Carolina, losing to the Bears in Chicago. Then week 12, I got them winning against the Commanders. I got them losing in Pittsburgh, losing at the Saints, losing at the Ravens, losing at the Cardinals. And depending on how this one play off at the end, they might be able to beat the Bucks. Week 18.
Hey, that's Seattle game in Seattle. They're gonna lose.
You think so?
What early in the season?
The Seahawks game is week 3.
It's gonna be raining in Seattle. They fucking losing.
Nah, I listen. I like
Raining?
Mariota.
They gonna lose.
The weatherman out here. Oh, it's raining that day.
Hey, I like Mariota over
But
Geno Smith.
I'm saying
80% chance of rain that day in the forecast.
Hey, no, I'm saying because Atlanta play like down south, and they're in a dome. To go play out west, and you're gonna play somewhere. It gets cold, it can rain or snow, but it's early enough where it's not gonna snow. And you don't really have Calvin Ridley or no skill-based players against Jamal Adams, Diggs. Like,
You got Kyle Pitts. You got Kyle Pitts.
They have rookie offensive
rookie.
rookie of the year favorite, Drake London.
They also have a mobile quarterback I don't know who
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
they
throwing
got
the rock
Cordero
out there in
Patterson.
Seattle when they cold. I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know who's throwing the
Q's
ball.
out here throwing the
I
rock
just-
out there.
I just don't like them to go going to Seattle. If they were playing in Atlanta, I'd be like, yeah, they probably getting that.
Honestly, I like Mariota over Geno
Whoever.
Smith or Drew Lock. Yeah, so I mean, I'm rocking with the Dirty Birds out
Ass.
there.
Bro, they played themselves at getting a quarterback. They literally played themselves.
Yeah.
All the Seattle fans were like, "We're not trading Russ. We're not trading Russ. We're not fucking trading Russ."
But they want to be bad. Seattle's
They want to
tanking.
be bad.
They in the CJ Stroud
You-
business.
If you want to be bad, bitch, send me DK Metcalf right now.
No, because they want to draft CJ Stroud and have him throw to DK Metcalf. So, like, that's why they're like, Pete Carroll said, we got 2 number ones. And it was Geno Smith and Drew Lock.
I don't even know if you got a. I don't even know if you got a one with those two guys. I don't even know if you got a one with those two guys combined.
You got 1-2. And that's Geno Smith. I'm going to give him some respect. You have 1-2.
Bro, they
Drew Lock
easily-
looked bad against the Cowboys.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this.
He looked
Geno
bad.
Smith is terrible. Tavon Austin made him look good.
No, Geno Smith is bad. It's a fact. You're right.
They
He's
both
bad.
are bad, but
I
Geno
think-
Smith throws with a glove on his throwing hand. That's just like a red flag.
But you know,
I'm going to remember that about Kenny Pickett.
Geno won the starting job because he didn't play that preseason game.
Okay, let's move down to the Panthers. That's the last team in this division, right? All right, before I get your record, there are 2 questions I have that I feel like prime and set the floor for everything. The first is, do you believe CMC will play the whole season?
almost
Man,
shut my laptop.
this touches on me personally because I drafted CMC the past 2 years with my first overall pick in fantasy football in several leagues. And that man in 2 seasons played about 3 or 4 games. Now, in those 3 or 4 games, that man had about 16 to 20 points in those games before he got hurt. Hey, when he in the game, he gonna play.
Hey, draft him again this year in the league. In our league, draft.
No, I've already had 2 drafts. I already had 2 drafts, and I passed on that man both times. I won't do it again. I won't be a victim. But I hope the best for him. I'm rooting for him. I hope he have a good year. I think it's gonna be the year he does have a good year because I ain't drafting. That's how I go. But I think he's gonna have a solid year. When he's on the field, man, he's a problem. Running the ball, you can't match up with him. Even you can even put your fastest guys on him. He's just gonna chop him up out the backfield. It's just and then he's gonna get you out in the run game. I think he's gonna be a huge help to Baker Mayfield having a strong run game if he stays healthy, and then having that check down. Man, that guy's one of the best back in the league when he's playing.
Okay. So speaking of Baker, can Baker deliver the Panthers a season that gets him a new deal and saves Matt Rule's job?
I think Baker will do enough to keep his job in Carolina. I personally do not like Matt Rule. I do not think he's a good head coach. I think the Panthers missed on that, and if he continues to be their head coach, he will drive that franchise to the ground. I'm just not a big fan of him. I think Baker's going to do enough to keep the job. That defense is too talented for you to be that bad last year. I don't care what. I don't care who was throwing the Sam Darnold seeing goes. I don't care. And you're missing CMC. I just think that defense is too talented. I get it. You got to score points, but he's just bad. And I just don't get it. He's just not a good coach. I just don't think.
All right. So Baker gets the deal, but Rule's out the door. What was your prediction for their season?
Average team. I got to finish in about 7-10. And I'm solid there. They start the season at home against the Browns. Baker already told us what he's going to do. I believe him. I believe him. Baker going to get after it. He's going to go. That's going to be the best game of Baker's career in week 1. And he's going to snap, man, because he's a competitor. Guys like that don't fold in games that mean that means something to it. It ain't a playoff game. We're not talking about big games. We talking about that's a personal vendetta. He got beef, so he coming for the dub. At the Giants, I think they win that one. I think they actually started out. What they started 4-0 last year,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then they played the Cowboys, right? And they got that ass whooped. So
Yeah, that happened.
I think they're gonna have a similar. They're gonna start 4-0. So I got them beating the Browns, at the Giants, home versus the Saints. I think they can steal that one. I do. I do because I actually have more faith in the Panthers defense. I think their defense should be a lot better than they are. And they added some two rookies. I don't know how much they're going to help them this year, but those two guys can fucking run. They got speed. They also had J.C. Horn, who got hurt last year. I mean, they got some players on the D line too. Like we were talking about Burns, Derek Brown, Gross Matos. They got players. Shaq. They got players on defense. I think they beat the Saints. I think they beat the Cardinals. I'm just not high on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray just and without D-Hop, nah. You got the mighty midgets running out there. You don't got no receivers.
Yo, this can't happen every week.
You got no receiver out there 6 foot. They
got one guy. He's new. He's 6 like
They ain't got no relevant dudes.
Who-
that
like 6
who-
foot. Yeah.
Is he gonna be in that top 3 or even
Bro.
4?
Because
Hell
you gotta
no.
think Nuke is
Hell
why
no.
their offense open up because Nuke command 2 people. So
Yeah,
you can let 2 people run wild that are small, and then you can let Kyler play behind the line of scrimmage all he wants.
Zach Ertz is
Without
their biggest
that-
receiver, but he ain't burning nobody.
If he
They
helps,
got speed. They got speed, but I think the Panthers can do that. And then this is where the ship starts to sink. They home against the 49ers. I think that's an L. At the Rams, that defense is too good. Baker's gonna fold. Home against the Bucks, again, defense is too good. Baker's gonna fold. At the Falcons, I think they lose this game because I'm hoping that Desmond Ridder's a starting quarterback by then, and I think the Falcons are going to be. I think the Falcons are obviously not going to be good, but I like Desmond Ridder a lot, and I think he's got more upside than Mariota. That, I mean, he takes his job. I mean, it's not really a surprise in my opinion. I think they lose at the Bengals. I think they come back and beat the Falcons at home. At the Ravens is an L. Home against the Broncos is an L. At Seattle, I don't care whether it's cold or not. That team is trash. That team is trash with that defense coming after them. I really think the Seahawks will be the worst team in the league, and I just believe that.
They do too.
I think the Texans. I think the Texans are better. I think the Lions are better. The Jets. Give me anybody over the Seahawks is how I feel right now. Then I think they take an L to the Steelers at home, and then they beat the Lions at home. And they finish the season with 2 L's, which is tough. They got to go to Tampa and 2 New Orleans to finish the season. I think they lose both those games.
I like that.
So 7 and 10's my mark for them.
Yeah, and based off how you saw the early season going, that might be generous. Like,
Yeah, I know, and I was generous on the Saints and the Cardinals. They could very well lose those games. Like,
yeah,
the one game I know, y'all can stand me on this. They will win against the Browns week 1 because Baker is coming for all blood,
stamped.
all dog pound blood. He wants it.
He want all smoke.
Mm-hmm. Okay, facts. That wraps up what we got going on for the NFC South. That leaves us with the final segment of our show, the heart of our show, Ballers Bouquet. Too often in the media, people only want to focus on the negative and salacious things athletes do. Here, we like to make a change, and this week's Ballers Bouquet goes to Joe Burrow for his hunger relief fund through the Athens County Food Pantry. They are dedicated to providing supplemental and emergency food to residents of Athens County, Ohio, who find themselves in need. When Joe Burrow got his Heisman Trophy, he shared an experience growing up in Athens County, where many of the people in his, neighbors, etc., classmates, did not know where their next meal was going to come from. And that led to a surge of donations that haven't stopped since, raising over $1.3 million. In 2022, he doubles up again and has started using his hunger relief fund to partner with many different organizations across Ohio to do the same thing that they did for Athens County. And right now he's partnering with the I'm a Child of Appalachia Fund to award hunger relief grants to all these other nonprofit organizations that will try to solve food insecurity in Ohio. And that is why he gets this week's Ballers Bouquet. All right. That's it for this episode. And for episode 82, we will catch y'all next week. Yo, anybody got any parting statements, things you want to leave the people with?
Nope.
Thank y'all for rocking with us. Yeah.
Facts. We
Man,
appreciate
football is
each
back, man.
Yeah. Now we got to talk about real shit coming up. Like, yo, it's about to get
Bears
real.
not making the playoffs.
The Bears?
Not making the playoffs. Everybody else's team is going to make the playoffs.
I mean,
I'm so unconcerned.
I mean,
Like you can't even understand the unconcern on my face. Like,
hey, look, I ain't gonna talk about playoffs because I don't know if we in the shoe in.
Yo, honestly, I don't know if the Patriots is either. Okay, T over there scratching his head.
Hey, my
Belichick, he ain't show our offense. He was just making it look like
y'all ain't got no offensive coordinator to show an offense with.
Hey,
right, he's making
Patricia.
it look like he was
hey,
Matt.
keep my $40 hot. All right.
Bro, you ain't getting that money.
Yeah,
Like, you bet on the Jets.
Hey, don't worry about what I
Yeah,
count
yeah, you bet on the
Keep
Jets.
the 40 hot. Hey,
Look,
hey,
all I'm trying to say is you bet on the Jets.
Hey, don't worry.
Hey,
about
whenever you want to, I will also bet you another $80. We like you said we only win 4 games. I bet you $80 we win more than 4 games.
Let me look at the schedule. I might take you up.
You see, every time he be like, "Oh man, I don't know."
I said, let me look at the schedule.
I'll look at this schedule.
All right. Next week, before week 1 starts, I'm gonna come back asking about these $80.
I got 40 right now. If I want to up it and we go, so you saying 80 and then 40?
Yeah,
So,
whole 120 for the whole season. We right now the
For
counter
5
is on 1. 5 wins, yeah. You said we only
might
win 4.
take you up on that. No, don't quote me on it yet, but I might.
Hey,
might.
Look, and that's the end of the show because he ain't got to get out of this one.
I said I might.
The fly route pod. The fly route pod. The fly route pod. The fly route pod.
All right, I'll holler at you.